Hello, welcome to Empower Capital. Today I want to talk to you about the insights that I gained about the markets, about the capital markets that changed my life, right? There are patterns out there over the years, and if you study these patterns, you get to see what really goes on, and it makes you're able to almost predict how the markets are going to move based on what has happened, right? But before I even go further, I want to remind you that this content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice or tax advice. So make sure to consult a professional before making any financial decisions. This is for educational purposes only. All right. So now that I got that out of the way, let's get straight to business. Right. So did you know that the Bitcoin and the stock market and crypto follow certain cycles that has influenced their prices, right? So I'm about to show you and explain to you my thesis as to what I discovered and also how it's benefited me as well. All right, so let's rock and roll. So if and the first thing that I want to talk to you about is the cycles, the 4-year cycle, for example, with Bitcoin, right? So you see there's this cycle, and in this cycle, you see how the assets move. You can follow the assets movement. And we talk about, for example, Bitcoin, we talk about the 4-year halving, right? And we see how the prices shoots up significantly during these halving years, right? And it's because the halving year is basically when the circulating supply coming into the market is reduced by half, right? And remember, I will tell you about this formula: market capitalization divided by circulating supply equals price, right? In other words, demand divided by supply equals price, right? And in simple division, if the supply, the bottom number, becomes static, the price will continue to go up, right? So that's very important to understand, right? That's just the economics of investing, right? So that makes Bitcoin more superior to gold, right? Because of that dynamic, it makes it more superior, right? And if you want to say gold is Lionel Messi, then Bitcoin is Cristiano Ronaldo. So I think Ronaldo's is the better player, right? I think Bitcoin is the better asset. So that's just my view, right? If you support Messi, fine. Let me hear from the comments. If you support gold over Bitcoin, that's fine. But I just explained to you why Bitcoin is superior, right? Because of the limited supply there, right? Whereas gold, you can continue to print gold, mine gold forever, right? Bitcoin is limited to 21 million supply. So because of that, it's superior, right? So the price will forever go up. One day, Bitcoin can hit. People are saying 5 to 13 million, as Michael Saylor was saying, right? So, in the future, in 20 years or so, right? It started off less than $1, and went to 1,000, went to 100, to 1,000, to 10,000, to now 100,000, right? So that's that. Number two, let's talk about the Federal Reserve economic factors, right? The money supply. So there's this thing called the money supply and the global liquidity, right? So the global liquidity, when the central banks around the world, such as the Federal Reserve in the U.S. and the ECB in Europe, the European Central Bank, the Bank of Japan, which is their central bank over there, Bank of Canada, have their own central bank, right? A lot of these major countries around the world, central banks begin to print money, and as they print, right, it's called the empty money supply. As they increase the global liquidity, right, it floats all boats. A lot of these risk assets begin to go up, right? Because as the money's flooded into the system, people tend to push that money into these risk assets. Okay. And that's part of the M2 money supply thing that I want to show you. And by understanding that, right, you're able to follow the charge, you're able to follow that, hey, as they begin to inject funds into the economy, into their systems, guess what? It's probably a good time for me to be bullish. It's probably a good time for me to be aggressive, right? So that's how I'm approaching my investing life, right? So again, I'm not telling you what to do. This is not financial advice. So let's go on to the next thing there, right? So the other thing that I want to talk to you about is about the interest rate. So the interest rates, as ever, they usually cut in cycles. and then they will raise it in cycles. So as they begin to raise it, they keep raising and raising and raising it, or hold it and raise until they reach a certain point. And then when they begin to cut, they begin cut until, or hold it, but they usually don't go the other way until the cycle's over. So as they're going through that cycle of cutting or raising, right, you're able to capitalize during those periods. Why? Because there are forecasts out there that gives you 1 year advance forecast as to their cutting schedule or their raising schedule, right? And they can see out up unto 1 year in advance in their forecasts, right? And so when you see that information, when you know where to find the information, and you know that they are printing money, M2 money supply, we're in a halving year, or when you know these things, when you're able to make good decisions around what's going on with these market movers are doing. All right, let's go to the next topic there, right? So I just mentioned to you the interest rates, M2 money supply, right? Now I want to talk to you about the quantitative easing and quantitative tightening. So the quantitative easing basically deals with um, when the Federal Reserve or central bank begins to buy treasury securities, right? They are buying it from um, certain entities, and then pushing money, funds, liquidity back into the system when they buy, right? And then when they sell, right, they're taking the money out of the system, right? So think about it, right? Logically, they're buying, right, these securities so they can push money back in to the system. And as they do that, you can see the market and the charts as the global liquidity goes up, as the M2 money supply goes up, as the quantitative easing, meaning all this liquidity is coming in, right? You can also see the risk assets like Bitcoin, stock market, which is the S&P, um, uh, Nasdaq, and all these risk assets, right? Even gold, right? You see them begin to go up with it, right? They begin to follow this trend, and as this trend goes the other way, they stop printing money. They stop cutting rates, or they start raising rates, right? You see things go the opposite way. And so when you look at some charts out there that I'm going to show you real quickly, you will see this trend. So I'm going to show you real quickly how this schedule looks like, right? So if you look here, you can see, right, the top performing asset in 2020, 2015, right? Number one, crashed, right? It was all the way at the bottom, right? Same thing, right? If you go, right, 2019, up, crash, up. What do you think is gonna happen in 2025, right? Go and do your own research, right? Up, crash. Up, crash. Up. What do you think is gonna happen, right? 2026 may have a crash potentially based on this, right? But again, we can't say everything is guaranteed, because nothing in life is guaranteed, and we can't say for sure history is gonna repeat itself as it has in the past, but it gives us a good indication of what may happen in the future, right? History doesn't repeat, it often rhymes, as they say in this industry here, right? So when you understand all of that, all right, you're able to make proper decisions. But so I just wanted to quickly just show you this, and I want you to go do your own research, right? And try to see, like, how can you put these charts next to each other, right? Put in these M2 money supply and find that data. Find the interest rate data and the cycles of the interest rate and the cycles of quantitative tightening and quantitative easing, right? Go find that data. Use ChatGPT, use Google. Go research that. Spend the time. Put the hard work in, right? It's gonna pay off, right? And remember, in life, nothing's gonna be easy, right? Hard work works, right? The Bible says you reap what you sow, right? When you sow hard work, right? You sow, right? That time that you're investing to learn these things, right? You're gonna reap it back, right? So you have to be effective, though, right? That hard work, effective hard work, right? So You don't want to waste your time doing things that are ineffective, right? So go and research this, because as you gain that understanding, it's going to give you the illumination understanding. It's going to give you that confidence as well to be able to do what you need to do, right? So do I just gave you a lot of alpha. Go back, read again, share, subscribe, like, comment, right? Let's get the word out to all our friends, our families, so they are also informed, right? And remember, even if you don't get in now because the prices are so high, that's fine. Remember, there are bear markets, right, that come, right? Remember 2022, I showed you there. 2018 was a bear market. 2022 was a bear market, right? So at the bottom of the bear market, right, it's a great time to go and load up as well, right? I'm not telling you what to do, but this is what the smart money does, right? They load up at the bottom of the bear market. Why? Because the principle is what? Buy low, sell high, right? This is what Warren Buffett talks about all the time, right? Buy low, sell high, and then have patience, right? And I'll leave you with this final quote by Warren Buffett. He said, "The stock market is a mechanism to take money from the impatient to give to the patient," right? And so, as the Bible says, right, patience is a virtue for a reason, right? Sometimes you need to have patience, right? Market moves in those cycles, but guess what? It's always going up. We've seen over the past 50 years, the stock market has been much higher than what it used to be, right? Same with the Bitcoin market, same with the crypto market, same with the real estate market, same with gold, right? So this is just the way these markets work. So go and do your research and gain understanding. All right. We love you and we want you to succeed. Let's grow. Okay. Let's go. Let's grow. All right. Keep more. Right. Keep more. Grow more. All right. Grow more. Keep more. We want you to succeed. We want you to be the best version of yourself, because we are here to empower you. And as you get empowered, all right, you can help others. Right. And that's what we want from you. We want to empower you. So have a wonderful week and God bless you. And always remember, you can, you will,